This news program is proudly brought to you by
Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits
and Now Biscuits.
Medical Symposium to address cancer in PNG. Technology assistance required for bank operations. And Water PNG to address illegal water connections. Good evening, you're watching National Emtv News. I'm Grace Papiali. Thank you for joining us. Borneo Pacific Pharmaceutical presented 50,000 kina towards the upcoming 57th Medical Symposium, which will be hosted in September of this year. The fight against cancer is paramount in Papua New Guinea. Many Papua New Guineans have sought to find treatment. Unfortunately, Port Moresby General Hospital is the only center with the facility to assist. However, some people still need to travel overseas to seek treatment. With the upcoming annual medical symposium, experts from all over the world will be joining Papua New Guinean experts to address cancer in PNG. The theme is Holistic Approach to Cancer in PNG.
Now, there's no cancer radiotherapy service, especially that component of the treatment of radiotherapy. Even the chemotherapy service as well. So we are not really up to the standard of providing good cancer care as far as chemotherapy is concerned. The medicines are very expensive and sometimes not available. That's why many of our Papua New Guineans who can afford are now going overseas. All of these things have to be provided in a more holistic way. So through this symposium, we want to address that.
In support to this, Borneo Pacific Pharmaceutical has come on board to show their support.
Pacific will do the contribution of donations yearly to make sure the successful event will be happening from now and for the next every year of the event. I'm grateful to announce that this year Borneo Pacific Pharmaceutical will contribute 50,000 cash donation to the medical society.
It is expected that 700 participants will attend the 57th Medical Symposium, which will take place on 10th to the 15th of September at the Stanley Hotel in Port Moresby. Meanwhile, cancer treatment needs more human resources. This was highlighted by the Chief Executive Officer of the Port Moresby General Hospital, Dr. Paki Molumi, today. More cancer specialists are needed to treat cancer patients in the country. Dr. Paki Molumi stated that human resources play a vital role in the urgency to treat patients.
Over the years, the Medical Society used to host a medical symposium. So this year will be the 57th time that the Medical Society will host the medical symposium in Port Moresby. The objective of the symposiums is to support the government, provide evidence-based policies to deliver health care to the people of PNG. So this is avenue where the Medical Society provides for scientists, researchers to come and present papers so that the health policies that we derive are evidence-based with statistics.
Dr. Molumi further highlighted that, apart from this, cancer facilities are also needed within the country.
Through this symposium, we are going to bring in experts around the world, in the country, plus overseas, who are going to speak in the best way preventive programs, the best way of diagnostic, early diagnostic programs that we can we can have it in our country. The best treatment facilities, palliative care, as well as new technology that is out there as far as cancer care is concerned. So we are expecting many speakers to come and speak in this symposium so that we can provide document that we can approach cancer in a holistic way.
As Bank of PNG is progressing with the number of potential financial institutions to get a commercial banking license, the former Group CEO for Bank South Pacific and newly appointed Chairman for People's Microbank, Sir Robin Fleming, said these financial institutions require a lot of support from people in technology space for effective operation in the country.
Bank of PNG is been progressing with number of potential financial institutions to get a banking financial institutions license role, where the Credit Corporation has progressed with its license and they are planning their own strategy to achieve a full commercial banking license. TISA is similarly looking to get a banking license and they have been progressing quite actively, and People's Microbank wanted to get into commercial bank as well. Sir Robin Fleming says this will provide more choices for customers over better range of services and better range of options. However, a key component that will drive the banks forward is the approach of customers to move more away from physical branches to utilizing the benefits which come with improved communications.
Our customers to move more away from physical branches to utilising the benefits which come with mobile banking. So competition, lower cost of delivery with improved communications and more choice, and choice not just in the main commercial areas but products which are going to assist customers who are somewhat less advantaged than those in the main provincial areas to be able to get access to a broader range of financial facilities.
He says as a newly appointed chairman for People's Microbank, their plan is to make a system selection which is going to enable People's Microbank a progress, which involves a lot of manual interventions to something which is going to be more scalable. And it requires a lot of support from people who are in the technology areas.
A system selection which is going to enable People's Microbank to move from a very old approach to banking and a process which involves a lot of manual interventions to something which is going to be more scalable, meaning you can get more customers without necessarily having to have full bricks and mortar support, and also a system which has got far more digital capability, because as a country that's what we want to do, move people into the digital area and into e-commerce, which does require a lot of support from people in the technology.
Esther Gane, National Emtv News.
And New Guinea released a statement late this afternoon advising that effective midnight today, all domestic flights will be cancelled until further notice. This unfortunate decision has been necessitated due to the recent imposition of jet fuel restrictions by Puma Energy. And New Guinea is actively engaging in discussions with Puma Energy and other relevant stakeholders to urgently address the fuel supply issues and find a swift resolution. Water is an important necessity to sustain life. Thus, proper water usage has to be practiced. Water PNG Limited, in partnership with National Capital District Commission, have taken the initiative to conduct awareness on wise water usage, conservation, and the government's WASH program in targeted schools within NCD.
Today, that awareness was carried out at Boreboa Primary School. Over 2,000 students, teachers, and few parents were present. The students participated in a quiz and watched entertaining skits where important water consumption and usage messages were delivered. Water PNG General Manager for Government and Community Relations, Hong Kiap, explains why this awareness is timely.
The design of the water supply system was done with a view of a population around 400,000. And now we have gone past that population. And the limited amount of water that's being processed from Mount Eriama is depleted when we don't conserve water. So a lot of illegal connections, a lot of broken pipes, a lot of leakages that are not fixed and all that are contributing to the low pressure.
Boreboa Primary School head teacher Thekla Rase shared the same sentiments.
This school has been having a very high water bill, and for him to come and talk to the kids, and I think the children got the message even through the drama as well. As I came in as a new head teacher this year, that was one of the areas that I was looking at putting down our water, because we had a lot of illegal connection.
The overall water awareness will be rolled out to other schools in PNG in due time.
But direct engagement like this, we will be programming it, and then as and when the timing is right and the budget is available, we will roll it out.
Amanda Ilaitia, National Emtv News.
Careless consumption of water leads to water rationing, as revealed by Water PNG Limited during a water-wise usage awareness in Boreboa Primary School in Port Moresby. Water PNG has uncovered that some residents in Port Moresby still resort to illegal water connection, thus the need to address this drastic issue.
Water PNG General Manager for Government and Community Relations, Hong Kia, placed emphasis on this issue of illegal connections.
From experience, previously under Edorano and even in PNG water, when they have not been merged, there have not been strict measures in terms of enforcing the water laws. When there's illegal connection, they just go disconnect them. When people don't pay their bills, they disconnect them. And when they reconnect them through illegal means, they don't do anything. That's why people get to think that they're not going to do anything, so let's just connect it anyhow and use water.
Mr. Kiap further explains the water laws.
In fact, under the Water and Sanitation Act, there's provisions for prosecution of illegal connections, water theft, destruction of water assets and all that. So that law has not been enforced. So people have become complacent and they think that nothing will be done if we do that. So we've already had discussions with the NCD Police Command, and we are going to resource them with a vehicle to help us in terms of the illegal connections. We're going to carry out this continuous awareness, and people who defy this awareness and they continue to do illegal connections will have to be arrested and charged.
Water PNG Limited and NCDC are also working in partnership to address this issue.
What we hope is for the key messages of being water-wise gets out to the communities. We have 1 million people plus now in the city. For us, water is a finite resource. We the city is struggling to get water and the distribution of water as well. So for us, it's just sustainability of it. If we don't use it wisely, then there'll be communities in the city that will not have water for a week or for more than a week. And we know that. We've had recorded instances of that happening.
Schools being the target of this important awareness program is so children can be impacted by this awareness and the same message will reach their families. Amanda Ilaitia, National Emtv News.
National Emtv News continues after the break with more stories. Stay with us. You're watching National Emtv News. The Minister for International Trade and Investment, Richard Maru, has met with the governor of Guangzhou province of China recently. Following this meeting in China, more bilateral trade conversations have been established by the two leaders. International trade talks are underway for open direct flights between Port Moresby and Guangzhou province of China. Governor of Guangzhou province, Wang Weizong, said This would improve more business connectivity between Papua New Guinea and China. This follows a discussion that was held with Prime Minister James Marape following the Chinese governor's visit to PNG recently. In return, Governor Wei Zong has suggested that the PNG government should establish a consulate in Guangzhou to help facilitate visas for business travelers and tourists. He further announced that he will be sending a large delegation to attend the inaugural PNG Asia Investment Conference in Hong Kong, which will be hosted in October from the 16th to the 17th, specifically to support more investors from his province to invest in PNG. Meanwhile, Minister Maru said his one-week visit to Guangzhou province was to let PNG government and the people of China know that PNG is ready to do business with Guangzhou province and China. Bougainville investors and businesses have been operating without insurance in the last 30 years since the Bougainville crisis. This will now come to cease as insurance services will now be available to the people of Bougainville through the Capital Insurance Group. This is made possible through a Memorandum of Understanding signed between Capital Insurance and the autonomous Bougainville government today in Port Moresby.
The purpose of this MOU is to make insurance available to the people of Bougainville while boosting economic development and growth. Minister for Commerce, Trade, Industry and Economic Development and Vice President of the Autonomous Region of Bougainville, Patrick Nisira, said the MOU demonstrates the confidence in the current government and the restoration of insurance services in the region.
The signing of the MOU between Capital Insurance Group and ABG demonstrate the confidence in the leadership of the Toro Manisira government. The restoration of insurance services will definitely boost economic development and growth as it will enable investment to take place. Bougainville businesses and investors have been operating without insurance for the last 34 years since the crisis. Our government acknowledges that need to secure a conducive business environment that will attract investors to invest in Bougainville. As such, we have invited insurance companies to the region.
Minister Nisira added that the Bougainville investors and businesses have been operating without insurance in the last 34 years, and so the Bougainville government acknowledges the need to secure a conducive business environment to attract investors, and as such, insurance companies have been invited into the region. As a startup, Minister Nisira has committed 100,000 kina to support capital insurance establishment in the region.
Parties in this relationship understand very clearly the key role that insurance plays in economic development and in providing, in particular, a secure environment for investment into the future and reducing financial volatility in economies, in businesses and in households. So insurance really is a necessary precondition for economic growth and the prosperity that will flow to Bougainville from that. So we're all really clear on the role of insurance on that, which is great.
Capital Insurance Group Chief Executive Officer Jeremy Norton acknowledged the Bougainville government for having the confidence in capital insurance and for them to provide a secure business environment for the region into the future.
ABG and Bougainville are making a commitment of 100,000 kina to support capital insurance establishment in the region. This is the demonstration of our commitment from the ABG in welcoming you for having confidence in the leadership under my ministry and the government.
Lindy Suharupa, National Emtv News.
One of the core objectives of the government is to provide quality education throughout Papua New Guinea. To ensure this comes into fruition, 89 inspectors from the New Guinea Islands and southern regions are in Port Moresby attending a 5-day induction workshop.
First Assistant Secretary for Inspections Division, Anne-Marie Corner, said the purpose of this workshop is to train inspectors to carry out their roles and responsibilities effectively within the mandated functions as per the Education Act. She said the last induction training was held in 2015 and the inspection induction workshop currently underway is important because it emphasizes on inspectors' roles and responsibilities and processes they should follow to produce results in the education system.
Because we have never provided induction training over the years, some of the roles and functions were not really, effective. Some of our inspectors are not effective in carrying out their roles, but it is anticipated that after this induction training, they should go back really as change agents, and they should provide a guide to the schools on how the schools can grow in all aspects of their roles and responsibilities.
The Assistant Secretary for School Registration, Patrick Silata, further added that inspectors play a key role in the quality of education. They ensure that standards in teaching, learning, school leadership and students' accomplishment criteria are being achieved and maintained. He said this induction is a first for the NGI and Southern regions and will be followed by the Highlands region, which will be held in Goroka, and for Momase in Vanimo, Sundown Province.
That is the important roles and responsibilities the inspectors play.
He highlighted that by the end of the third induction, all inspectors have gone through the induction will be much more effective in ensuring that quality education and results are met. Natasha Ovoy, National, Emtv News.
The change from an outcome-based education to a standard-based curriculum has brought forth many challenges for Papua New Guinea. This was expressed by the Education Inspections Division First Assistant Secretary Anne-Marie Corner.
One such challenge expressed by Corner is the need to train teachers across schools in the country to carry out this curriculum.
Training is very important. The developers, CDD, their job is to provide that TOT training to all the school teachers in the country. They do it through representatives of the provinces. But then it cascades down to the school level. So they should also channel their in-services, whether it be school-based or cluster-based. They should also, help each other to understand more on the implementation of the new curriculum that we have.
Recently, this newsroom has reported on SBC training being carried out in various provinces in the country, of which saw attendance by concerned teachers from mostly rural parts of the nation. A main concern raised was on the lack of resources to carry out the education curriculum.
One of the challenges that we have is with the distribution of the SBC materials to the schools. Because of the geographical locations of the schools, although it leaves us here, the curriculum materials leave us, they do not exactly end where we want the materials to be.
For this regard, Corner expressed challenges in material distributions reaching schools.
The provincial education advises and their administrations to help inspectors, go down to the school levels to give as many more training to our teachers so that they are very well acquainted with the implementation of the new curriculum that we are distributing.
She advised that in such situations, the inspectors must report the incidences. She went on to commend inspectors for their work so far despite this dilemma, but called for more support. The First Secretary notes that in this case, the remote schools will be drastically affected. Natasha Ovoy, National, Emtv News.
And now we take a look at the Nest Fund market report. The Kina closed unchanged at $0.2800 in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, Kina was buying $0.2715 $0.3985 Australian dollars, 0.2371 euro, 37.73 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York closed, gold is trading higher, coffee closed higher, cocoa closed higher, copra closed higher, palm oil closed lower, crude oil is trading lower, copper closed higher. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, the ASX 200 is trading higher, the All Ordinaries is trading higher. National MTV News continues after the break. Stay with us. You're watching National MTV News. The Western Highlands provincial government presented a massive check of over 1 million kina to the Internal Revenue Commission branch in Mount Hagen with a vehicle to help support the collection of tax in the province.
The check of over 1 million kina is a culmination of goods and services tax collected in the province over the last 2 months and was presented to the IRC branch in Mount Hagen by the Western Highlands Province Governor Y. Rapa to the Commissioner of IRC, Sam Coim. Commissioner Coim, in acknowledging the Western Highlands provincial government, says the province is putting more emphasis on how to make money and narrowing expenditure, which can then help the provincial government to make more money. Governor Rapa also made commitments to IRC in Mount Hagen moving forward with a presentation of a new vehicle to IRC Mount Hagen. According to the province's acting provincial administrator, Mount Hagen City, being the third largest in the country, is the gateway to other Highlands provinces. Hence, people flood in on a daily basis. However, under the leadership of Governor Rapa, they are adamant Mount Hagen City will change in terms of business opportunities and developments for the good of all Western Highlanders. Lindy Suharupa, National MTV News.
As tribal fights in the Enga province continue to escalate, displaced mothers and children are forced to take refuge in the jungles in fear of their lives. According to Ward 1 councillors in Wabeg, Lenny Maliso, high-powered weapons are being used in these tribal fights.
In an exclusive phone interview with MTV News today, the Ward 1 councillor in Wabeg town said although businesses and developments are emerging, which is encouraging to see, there is no longer a sense of peace in the province.
Mama plenty especially Facebook na. Plenty of teenage, young adults, 4 or 5 city Mologan all day now. I'm bringing fuel on the law. Mama in the safe law, Mama taking the about run. Then, even though we are far away or some distance away from the fighting zone, but then still bringing fuel alive because we are connected to each other as speaking one language.
A vocal councillor, Maliso, further called on educated elites and influential people in warring tribes, especially in the war-torn Wapenamanda district, to educate their people to stop killing and destroying innocent lives and disrupting their livelihoods. Councillor Maliso claims these elites are supplying high-powered weapons and ammunition to members of the warring tribes. Hence, killings have escalated. Since the fight started, mothers and children have gone into hiding and have remained hidden ever since, not knowing if their brothers, fathers and husbands are still alive or have lost their lives. MTV News understands the provincial government, under its special Provincial Peace and Good Order Committee, has issued a directive of a province-wide curfew and travel restrictions from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily for a period of 3 months. For now, the question on everyone's minds is when will these gruesome killings and attacks stop? Lindy Suharupa, National MTV News.
PMV buses in Wewak Urban went on strike yesterday, refusing to provide transportation services to the public travelling to and from Wewak town as a show of frustration and anger towards the East Sepik provincial government for not addressing the need to fix the deteriorated town roads.
The strike came as a complete shock to the travelling public, leaving many people stranded and immobile. The PMV bus owners approached Wewak Town Mayor John Nawas regarding the need to fix Wewak Town roads. In response, Mr. Nawas said his office does not look after the town roads, therefore the concern should be raised to the Provincial Works Department. Newly appointed Provincial Works Manager Mr. Gilbert Seri told the PMV bus owners and their crew members that his office will do everything under their jurisdiction to do temporary fix on the roads whilst working on something more permanent and long-lasting. Meanwhile, the East Sepik Governor Alan Bird publicly apologized in a statement to the people of East Sepik for the prolonged delay by East Sepik provincial government to fix the roads or even just to fix the potholes. He said this through his social media yesterday, stressing that the issue is from within the administration responsible for scoping and engaging contractors. Since yesterday morning, East Sepik Provincial Works Department started working on the town roads following the strike by PMV buses. Natasha Avoy, National, MTV News.
The European Union-funded Straight program in Papua New Guinea is spearheading a program to build the capacity of lead farmers in digital skills, e-agriculture and agri-meteorology services in the Sepik region of the country.
This program is being implemented by the International Telecommunication Union, or ITU, and is focused on empowering farmers with digital tools and knowledge to transform agri-food business practices and enhance farmers' resilience to climate change. The Sepik region is renowned for its fertile lands and vibrant farming communities. However, limited access to digital resources and skills had impeded progress in the region. In this framework, the ITU recently organized 2 intensive workshops in Vanimo West Sepik Province and Maprik in East Sepik Province, pulling together 74 lead farmers and agri-food business actors. The training program conducted in collaboration with local partners, providing lead farmers with hands-on experiences in various digital applications tailored to the agricultural context. As part of the EU Straight PNG program, 10 resource centers equipped with computers and VSAT internet connections are being established across the Sepik region to provide farming communities with reliable access to the internet, capacity building, digital skills trainings, and digital services including e-marketing. Esther Gane, National MTV News.
National MTV News continues after the break with Trukai Sports. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. For the first time this year, the PNG Kickboxing Federation will take its amateur fighters overseas to attend their first international event. After receiving an invitation, the Kickboxing Federation will take its fighters to USA Miami next month.
Training both male and female fighters for their first international bout is PNG Kickboxing Federation. After successfully hosting their first fight in Port Moresby in a long while, the PNG Kickboxing Federation is now preparing its fighters to attend their first international bout in USA come August this year. According to the president for PNG Kickboxing Federation, Stanley Nandex, he is hoping that around 10 fighters, both male and female, will attend the amateur bout in Miami. He said one of the biggest challenge for the PNG Kickboxing Federation now is financial support. He said several events prior to the event will be hosted, including a gala dinner and some support from various individuals to help support the fighters. Godwin Eki, Trukai Sports.
The National Volleyball Federation is currently going through its selection process, where selection trials are held at the Sejong Gai Stadium in Port Moresby.
The aim of the selection trial is to identify potential players, both male and female, for the 2023 Pacific Games. With less than 5 months, identifying a potential team is important so that the final team selected can be prepared well in time for the Pacific Games. PNG Volleyball Federation is hoping to identify top players quickly, as the federation has 2 international events to attend later this year, one of which is the 2023 Pacific Games, which will take place in Solomon Island. Right now, though, the PNG Volleyball Federation's focus will be on identifying the final squad and to get the athletes ready and prepared for the Pacific Games come November this year. Godwin Eki, Trukai Sports.
Trukai Sports continues after the break. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome back to Trukai Sports. The 2023 Trukai Fun Run will run simultaneously in the country with the aim to raise funds for Team PNG to this year's Pacific Games in Solomon Island, which will take place in November.
One of the biggest events hosted every year by the PNG Olympic Committee, the Trukai Fun Run, in support of raising funds for Team PNG athletes to Commonwealth Games, the Olympic Games and the Pacific Games, is set to host its 2023 Trukai Fun Run in August this year, where several towns and cities in the country will play host. As several provinces, including Port Moresby and Lae, gear up to host the Trukai Fun Run event, proceeds generated from this event will go towards supporting Team PNG athletes to this year's Pacific Games in Solomon Island. Currently, the PNG Olympic Committee, the Trukai Industries Limited, as the major and naming rights sponsor, and those respective places hosting the events are working together to achieve this major event. Meanwhile, Trukai Industries, as the naming rights sponsor to the event and for supporting such event of its magnitude, this will be its 23rd event of the Trukai Fun Run as the naming rights sponsor. The 2023 Trukai Fun Run will take place on August 20th and will be hosted on this day around the country. Godwin Eki, Trukai Sports.
And moving to overseas sports news now, and in Women's World Cup, emerging star Mary Fowler has been ruled out of the Women's World Cup clash against Nigeria with a concussion.
She and fellow defender, well, she's not a defender, but fellow player, I should say, Avi Luik, suffered mild concussions in separate incidents at training and were subsequently scratched from tonight's game at Lang Park. It's a huge blow for the Matildas. They're now without 3 forwards, Captain Sam Kerr, Kia Simon and Mary Fowler, with Caitlin Ford the only recognised striker available against the African side. Fowler had been poised to line up alongside Ford for a second consecutive match in Kerr's absence.
That ends Trukai Sports. The Money Plus weather report is next. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
The weather forecast for the next 24 hours in the southern region, Port Moresby City and Daru, partly cloudy and windy. Kerema, cloudy periods. Alatau, cloudy periods with some showers. Popondetta, cloudy periods with possible shower or two. In Momasa region, Lae City, partly cloudy with few showers. Madang, cloudy periods. Wewak, cloudy periods with few showers. Vanimo, cloudy periods with brief showers. In the New Guinea Islands region, Lorengau, cloudy periods with few showers. Kavieng, cloudy with some showers and thunderstorms. Kokopo and Rabaul, cloudy periods with few showers and possible thunderstorms. Kimbe, cloudy periods. Buka, cloudy periods with rain showers and possible thunderstorms. In the Highlands region, Mount Hagen City, cloudy periods with few rain showers. Goroka and Kundiawa, cloudy with few rain showers. Mendi and Wabeg, cloudy with few rain showers.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
And that wraps up the news, sports and weather for Thursday, the 27th of July, 2023. From all of us here, pleasant viewing. Good night.
This news program was proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Gold Nuggets.